Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're putting Dubai under the microscope. Now, this is a city literally everyone has an opinion on, but honestly, very few people actually understand how it works. We aren't going to be looking at glossy travel brochures today. Instead, we're contrasting two wildly different versions of the city that we pulled straight from our sources. First, a highly detailed, data-driven real estate guide that maps out long-term family wealth. And second, a raw, incredibly candid forum thread from a digital nomad exposing the gritty, day-to-day reality of living there. It is a fascinating clash of perspectives, and we're going to break the whole thing down for you. So here is our roadmap for today's explainer. We'll start by defining the two sides of Dubai. Then we'll dive into the data on family communities and their hidden costs. After that, we'll shift gears into the digital nomad reality, explore why remote workers refuse to leave despite their complaints, and finally, help you figure out which lifestyle actually makes sense. Section 1, the two sides of Dubai. Right off the bat, this is the big question we're tackling today. Is Dubai a family utopia, or is it just an overhyped nomad trap? It's kind of wild because, on one hand, we've got a source detailing multi-million dirham villas, top-tier international schools, and massive long-term wealth accumulation. But then, on the flip side, we have this highly critical digital nomad community arguing that the city is soulless, prohibitively expensive, and totally misunderstood by the remote work crowd. Both of these realities are coexisting in the exact same city. Moving into Section 2, Finding the Family Oasis. Let's dive into this first perspective. If you're coming to Dubai to build a family and really plant some roots, the real estate data paints a very structured, clear picture. But the barrier to entry, well, it varies wildly depending on what you prioritize. If you want an accessible, highly walkable community, Town Square offers 3-bedroom entry prices at around 1.8 million dirhams. But say you want the classic, established gold standard of villa living. You're looking at Arabian Ranches, which starts at 2.8 million. And if you want the ultimate modern all-rounder, right in the absolute heart of the city, Dubai Hills Estate demands a massive premium, starting at 5 million dirhams. What's really interesting here is looking at the trade-offs families actually make. Because let's be real, the school run shapes a family's week more than almost anything else. Dubai Hills Estate, it commands that 5 million dirham premium largely because top-tier gem schools are right inside the community, and it's super central. Then you have Arabian Ranches, which offers all this established greenery and the highly rated Jess School, but it definitely pushes you slightly out into the suburbs. Meanwhile, Damak Hills 2 gives you maximum physical space for a much more affordable price, but the trade-off is a significantly longer commute. It's a calculated balancing act for sure. And you might be wondering, why are families willing to pay those massive premiums? Well, check this out, 93%. According to our real estate source, that is the stunning figure representing villa price growth across Dubai from 2020 to 2024. This just brilliantly illustrates why established communities with limited land, places like Arabian Ranches or the Springs, really protect and grow long-term wealth. Scarcity drives value, and for long-term buyers, this kind of explosive growth heavily outweighs the initial sticker shock. But here's the real kicker. Buying into these communities isn't just about real estate. It's about buying a lifestyle and, crucially, a residency. Properties valued at 2 million dirhams or more actually unlock the UAE's 10-year golden visa. So for a family looking for long-term stability, checking that 2 million dirham box completely changes their trajectory in the country. It's a huge incentive. All right, Section 3, the true cost of community. But of course, paradise isn't free. It is incredibly easy to overlook the hidden expenses of the Dubai lifestyle, and we're talking specifically about annual service charges here. If you buy an established villa, your service charges are relatively low, roughly 2 to 6 dirhams per square foot. But watch what happens when you move into apartments. A centrally located spot like Jumeirah Village Circle jumps to 12 to 20 dirhams. And if you want that premium, Emaar-managed waterfront lifestyle at Dubai Creek Harbor, you are paying up to 23 dirhams per square foot every single year. Let's put that into perspective to really see the impact. If you have a 2,500 square foot home, the difference between a 3 dirham service charge and a 20 dirham service charge is an extra 42,500 dirhams a year. I mean, that is a massive hidden cost that scales dramatically over a decade. The real estate data makes it absolutely clear. You have to calculate this stuff before you commit to that gorgeous waterfront view. Section 4, the digital nomad reality. Okay, we're leaving the glossy world of 10-year visas behind and pivoting hard to the digital nomad reality. Turning to our second source, which is a really candid conversation among digital nomads, I want you to hear this quote straight from a multi-year expat running their business remotely in Dubai. They say, "Cost of living is not cheap. Summer is literally uninhabitable." Boom. That instantly shatters the whole illusion of Dubai as a cheap, breezy laptop on the beach haven, right? There is just this massive disconnect between the internet hype and the actual ground reality here. Nomads arrive expecting the affordability of somewhere like Bangkok or the charming, walkable streets of Lisbon. Instead, they hit a brick wall. A decent one-bedroom apartment in a good area, that'll run you $1,500 to $2,500 US a month. The city is built for cars, not pedestrians. And making friends? Well, the expat turnover is so incredibly rapid that people typically leave after just 2 years, meaning you are constantly having to rebuild your social circle. Looking neutrally at the source material from these online forums, the primary grievances are pretty clear. Nomads are deeply frustrated by the lack of walkability. From May to September, the heat is so extreme that your entire life is basically forced indoors. Furthermore, commentators heavily debate the social and cultural atmosphere. Several forum users criticize what they call a soulless or artificial culture, and they raise concerns over the treatment of low-wage foreign workers. It's a polarizing, hyper-fast-paced environment that absolutely does not fit the typical relaxed nomad vibe. Which brings us to Section 5, why nomads actually stay. So let's think about this. If it's too hot, too expensive, and socially isolating, why in the world did they stay? Let's dive into the undeniable, practical perks that keep these remote workers locked in. This list is essentially the ultimate business scaling toolkit. First, the time zone perfectly overlaps with both Europe and Asia. The infrastructure is absolutely flawless. We're talking lightning-fast internet, fast deliveries, everything just works. There are direct flights to literally everywhere on the globe. And yes, if structured correctly, the zero income tax savings are very, very real. But out of all those perks, this is the one that seems to override the rest. One nomad notes, "Never once worried about my laptop at a cafe or walking home at 3 a.m. Unmatched personal safety. For a global worker who carries their entire livelihood in their backpack, that level of absolute security is priceless. It completely offsets the high rent and the lack of walkable streets for a lot of people." And of course, we have to talk about the weather window. Yes, the summer is brutal, no arguing that. But from October to April, the weather is described as genuine perfection. This is exactly why you see a huge trend of startup founders and nomads utilizing Dubai as a tactical strategy. They stay for just a few months a year during this perfect window to lock in, network, and hustle, and then they leave right when the summer heat hits. Section 6, choosing your Dubai lifestyle. So we've seen the family utopia and we've seen the gritty nomad reality. Bringing this all together, it's clear that Dubai is not a monolith. It's more like a machine that rewards those who know exactly what they want out of it. The long-term builder succeeds here by playing the real estate game, securing a golden visa, prioritizing the school run, and letting villa scarcity appreciate their wealth over a decade. Meanwhile, the tactical nomad succeeds by ignoring the hype, accepting the high costs, and leveraging the safety, tax efficiency, and flawless infrastructure to aggressively scale their business. Ultimately, it all comes down to your expectations. If you show up expecting a cheap, breezy vacation, the city is going to eat your wallet and send you packing. But if you come with a targeted plan, it offers tools that you just can't find anywhere else in the world. So my final question to you is this. Based on the data, the costs, and the realities we just explored, which Dubai are you packing for? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I can't wait to dive into our next topic with you.